cheeses that go from the slice back to that motherland, that master pie circle. And so a lot of times, my dad, he didn't know what the hell was going on. He didn't know, who was his kid, or who was black, or who was white, or anything. I mean, he didn't know if you were a car or a person. So I remember one time he put a half a gallon of gas into the back of my pants on your daddy, because my dad was so old. When he'd have pizza, he could, the cheese comes off that pie. When you release that slice off that circle, you really get a lot of that, those little kind of like a cheese web, kind of like a lot of little string cheeses that go from the slice back to that motherland, that master pie circle. And so a lot of times, my dad, he didn't know what the hell was going on. He didn't know, who was his kid, or who was black, or who was white, or anything. I mean, he didn't know if you were a car or a person. So I remember one time he put a half a gallon of gas into the back of my pants. So you just, daddy would have him a slice of that pizza, and he'd have cheese just draped all over him. And some of the kids would say, hey, run a cheese check on your daddy. And you'd have to just kind of, check on his face like that. You'd have to do that dang, dang. And cheese check your daddy. Make sure you don't have any cheese just draping off his face. Like somebody's trying to spelunk off his face or something. And so, you just want to make sure, it was kind of that deal. But, yeah, chicken check. That's a popular term. They say chicken check. Because a chicken, a lot of people don't think about a chicken. Think about a chicken. Now what? A chicken, seeing a chicken used to be like coming across a McDaniel's, bro, when you're driving. And you see the arches. You said, oh, dang, that's a McDaniel's right there. That's the same in the old days. If you came across a chicken in the 1700s, that's like pulling up on a restaurant. You're riding with your family. You guys are in the, riding in a horse cart or whatever. And you see a chicken. They say, Dad, stop there, Dad. Stop at that restaurant. And the restaurant's just over there. It's like, and y'all go over there and slice and dice. And mom does her thing, and that's family dining. That's 1600s family dining, man. And the chicken dies, but hey, it's like, who do you want to be? I almost wish that they had a funeral parlor that had a kind of a 10-disc changer. Remember them CD changers, them 10-disc changers? That they had one of those in the ground, and everybody was on kind of a lazy Susan, and you just got to kind of, just do like a little bit of speed dating kind of while you're in the dirt. Just something where you could cross paths with some difference. Because, yeah, for the first hour or two, it'd be cozy being with your folks. But, man, about 10 p.m. and after they shut down, they saw, a couple of episodes of Law & Order SVU, and they're turning down the lights. You're going to want to howl a little. You're going to want to get out. You're going to want to throw one of your bones into the distance and let some dirty dog go get it. That's one thing about skeleton. That's why I think if ghosts were made, if they had real skeletons, dogs would attack them all the time. So you got to think about that right there. I mean, you couldn't send a skeleton real far without a dog getting that bitch right by the neck or by the coccyx or whatever, or the occipital or whatever. I don't remember. I only got a B in 8th grade in science, but shout out to science, bro. We had when I was young, we had a science teacher, and he used to do deltoids at the gym. And he would do deltoids all the time. And he would also at the same time eat Altoids. And so his big thing, he would get you to come over by him, and he'd be doing deltoids, and he'd blow a little bit of mint smoke out of his mouth and be doing Altoids. He'd have 9 Altoids in his mouth. And I'm not saying that, I don't know what the pH balance is of somebody's breath if they got 9 Altoids in them, but I mean, you like a damn Christmas chimney at that point. You running a lot of heat, I feel like. And shout out to that.
I'm calling about the rejection, man. One time, my first day in my brand new apartment, I get in the elevator. There's this gorgeous brunette woman way out of my league comes in. I got me and my dog, right?
Oh, yeah. You got that little hitman with you, baby.
And she's actually excited to see the dog. She gets in all happy, starts petting my dog.
Oh, yeah. And this goes back to it. Once you touch that dog, and the man imagination goes from that wiener dog to just that wiener. You feel me?
I froze up, man. I locked up. Only thing I could come up with was, "Oh, you like dogs?" And she looked at me like I was probably the dumbest thing on planet Earth, and gave me a smile, probably because she felt bad. But then we had to take the elevator 10 stories up in this awkward, embarrassed. I didn't know what to say. I was all red. I was sweaty, man. I've never been the same since. Gang, gang.
Gang, brother, you never will be the same, man. That rejection, it sticks in you, man, like a magnet with talons, man. It gets into you. It eats your ass, baby. It eats your ass with buck teeth. Oh, man. And the elevator, I mean, first of all, there's so many things going on in that story. First of all, elevators, if we just build an elevator that went all the way to heaven, we wouldn't have a lot of the problems we have. But instead, we're building three stories. Dude, sometimes you see a building with 2 stories as an elevator. Bitch, just throw your friend up there, dog. Fucking jump. We are wasting all of this money. And also, if we had an elevator that went all the way up to heaven, we do 2 stories, 3 stories. You go to a dentist, you go to some tax evasion place. You go to chiropractor, bro. Dude, look, if a chiropractor ain't on the first floor, that place is a scam, bro. Okay? Facts. I don't want to go to the penthouse, daddy. I want to go to the penthouse, man. I want to go all the way to the top. We should make an elevator that goes to heaven, man. Think about it. That way, when you're ready to go, you're ready to go. It's not a bad idea, man. But dude, yeah, it's so tough when you get with the girl, you start and you have a chance and you're like, you like dogs? And then there's nothing you can do, so your voice gets locked up. And you have to ride floor after floor, just thinking, what do I say now? And anything would have been okay. You could have said anything, man. You could have said anything. You're just looking at your dog. You keep petting your dog like a pervert. Oh, that's heartbreaking, man. And I've been there, and we've all been there. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you've definitely been rejected by women, and we've all been there, man. We've all been there.
Fucking New York. And
what's up, Matt? And good to hear from you, my man. And thank you for calling and being a part of the show. In New York, one of the premier states, one of the first states they ever had, New York. Onward.
And I heard you got rejected. It sucks, man. I've been there.
Thank you, brother. Yep, we all have, and it's good to hear that others have. More?
So I had a funny rejection story. So I was working at Planet Fitness at the gym, and
ooh. I don't know if we're going to call Planet Fitness a gym, man, but I'll go on with you. Here.
This cute Asian girl would come in there, and I kind of had a thing for her, so I'd flirt with her, whatever. And
oh, yeah, baby, that Pinoy, daddy. Onward.
And I was nervous to ask her out, though. She seemed really shy. I couldn't tell if she was into me or not.
And that's the Asian dilemma right there when it comes to white males and Asian women. You have no idea. You have no idea. You could be getting married to an Asian woman and you have no idea if she likes you or not. There is no... I mean, if I were Asian, I would just play poker. No one has any idea what is going on. You could be a brain surgeon. You could work at a Hardee's. There's no gives. Onward.
And then like some of my coworkers hyped me up. They're like, "Yo, man, go for it, go for it." So I thought, "Oh, I'm gonna do it big. I'm gonna buy her a flower." I got her a rose,
Ooh.
and I hid the rose like behind the desk, and I waited for her to leave.
Oh man, so much romance. Onward.
And this is the most embarrassing thing because she walked out into the parking lot, and I followed her out. Like, now saying it out loud, it sounds so creepy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
at the time, I thought it would be like romantic. And I said, "Hey, excuse me." And then she turned around, and I gave her a flower, and I was like, maybe we should go out sometime. Give me a chance, blah blah blah. And she was like, she felt so awkward. I could tell. And like at this point, I knew I fucked up. And she's just like, "Oh, I'm busy with school and stuff, whatever." And then, like, it was horrible because then she would come in to work out and I'd have to see her again. And every time I was, like, trying to hide and shit. So, yeah, we've all been there, man, so don't feel bad. But anyway, gang.
Gang, brother. Dang. What a story, man. Oh, I can feel it. You hid that flower the whole time. One of your coworkers noticed. They're all like chatting behind your back, like, "Damn, he's about to fucking take an L," And you're all you hyped up, and once your mind goes over that cliff of "I'm gonna take a flower to a girl," bro, it ain't the 1800s. I feel you. I love the romantic side. It's just not as appreciated these days. People think you're a stalker. People think you're a stalker with who also has a green thumb. But man, I commend it, bro. You hiding that bitch. You got a little bit of foliage tucked off behind the Z-Rocks. You sneak over. Ta-da. She's shocked. And then she gave you the most, I have to go to school more.